Dear viewers, the main goal of our channel is to pay tribute to all the people who are leaving this mortal world, and those who have achieved extraordinary success in life, and to highlight their success stories so that the new generation is inspired. Today we will discuss about worst American actress and two legends they are. Dana Plato, 1964-1999, was an American actress best known for her role as Kimberly Drummond on the popular sitcom Diff'rent Strokes, 1978-1986. Born Dana Michelle Strain in Huntington Park, California, she was adopted as an infant and raised in the San Fernando Valley. Plato began her acting career at a young age, appearing in over 100 television commercials and making her film debut at 13 in Exorcist II, The Heretic, 1977. Joe Louis Walker, December 25, 1949, April 30, 2025, was a pioneering American blues guitarist, singer, and songwriter. Born in San Francisco to Arkansas-born parents, he began playing guitar at age 8 and became a fixture in the Bay Area music scene by his teens. Throughout his career, Walker collaborated with blues legends such as John Lee Hooker, Muddy Waters, Bonnie Raitt, and B.B. King, and was known for blending electric blues with gospel, soul, rock, and jazz influences. Jochen, 1946-2025, was a German racing driver renowned for his versatility in both Formula One and endurance racing. Born in Dorfen, Bavaria, Mass began his motorsport career after serving in the Merchant Navy and completing a mechanic apprenticeship. He debuted in Formula One in 1973 with Surtees and later raced for McLaren, ATS, Arrows, and March. In 1975, he secured his sole F1 victory at the Spanish Grand Prix, though the win was overshadowed by a tragic accident that resulted in spectator fatalities. Mass retired from F1 in 1982 following a series of accidents, including a collision that led to Gilles Villeneuve's death and a near-fatal crash at the French Grand Prix. Let's discuss in detail now Dana Plato, a tragic journey through fame and fallout. Dana Plato's life reads like a cautionary tale of the perils of child stardom, a young girl thrust into the spotlight, beloved by millions, who later struggled with addiction, typecasting, and the pressures of fame. Best known for her role as Kimberly Drummond on the popular 1980s sitcom Diff'rent Strokes, Plato's promising start in Hollywood devolved into a tragic saga of personal turmoil and untimely death. Her story, while heartbreaking, provides critical insights into the darker side of celebrity culture. Early life and rise to fame. Dana Michelle Plato was born on November 7, 1964, in Maywood, California. She was adopted as an infant by Dean and Florine K. Plato, a Southern California couple who raised her in the Los Angeles area. Dana's adoptive parents divorced when she was 3, and she was primarily raised by her mother, who recognized Dana's beauty and talent early and pushed her into acting and modeling. By the age of 7, Dana was appearing in television commercials, eventually starring in over 100, including notable ads for Dole and Kentucky Fried Chicken. Plato was also a talented figure skater, training to compete in the Olympics before focusing entirely on acting. Her early television work led to bit parts in shows like The $6 Million Man and the horror film Return to Boggy Creek, 1977. However, her life changed forever when she was cast as Kimberly Drummond in 1978. Diff'rent Strokes and Instant Stardom. Diff'rent Strokes premiered on NBC on November 3, 1978. The show starred Conrad Bain as wealthy widower Philip Drummond and featured Gary Coleman and Todd Bridges as two African-American boys from Harlem adopted by Drummond. Plato played Kimberly, Drummond's biological daughter, a kind, thoughtful teenager who helped bridge the cultural divide between the characters. The show was a massive success and ran for 8 seasons. At the height of her fame, Dana Plato was one of the most recognizable teenage stars on television. With her girl-next-door looks and endearing screen presence, she became a fan favorite and teen idol. However, behind the scenes, Plato's personal life began to unravel. Struggles behind the scenes. Unlike her on-screen persona, Plato's real-life circumstances were marked by instability. During the run of Diff'rent Strokes, she began experimenting with drugs and alcohol. She also became pregnant at age 18 by musician Lanny Lambert, which resulted in her being written off the show in 1984. Producers felt that a pregnant teenage character wouldn't align with the wholesome image the show cultivated. In 1984, she gave birth to her only son, Tyler Lambert, and married Lanny Lambert soon after. Their relationship, however, was short-lived, and they divorced in 1990. After her departure from the sitcom, Plato found it increasingly difficult to find roles that matched her previous success. She was typecast as the sweet, innocent teenager and struggled to break free from that image. Her post-Diff'rent Strokes career was marked by a series of low-budget films, including B-movies and erotic thrillers such as Bikini Beach Race, 1992, and Lethal Cowboy, 1994. She also made headlines by appearing in a May 1989 Playboy pictorial in an effort to shed her child star image. Though the spread generated some attention, it did little to revive her career in a meaningful way. Legal troubles and substance abuse. As acting opportunities dwindled, Plato's struggles with substance abuse deepened. She had admitted to using Valium and drinking heavily during her teenage years, and her problems continued into adulthood. In 1991, she made headlines again, not for a film or TV appearance, but for a bizarre criminal incident. On February 28, 1991, Plato entered a Las Vegas video store with a pellet gun and demanded money. She was arrested and charged with robbery. The crime netted only $164, and she was laddie, released on bail, reportedly posted by an Elvis impersonator who recognized her from Diff'rent Strokes. Plato received 5 years probation and was ordered to undergo drug and alcohol counseling. Just months later, she was arrested again, this time for forging a Valium prescription. Although she avoided jail time, the incident further tarnished her already fading image. Attempts at redemption and media appearances. Throughout the 1990s, Plato attempted to rebuild her life and career. She appeared on various talk shows and radio programs, openly discussing her struggles with addiction, her arrest, and her hopes for a comeback. One of her most memorable appearances was on The Howard Stern Show in 1999, during which she confronted a hostile audience of callers. Plato insisted she was sober and trying to live a better life, but the skepticism she faced only highlighted the public's unwillingness to forgive or forget. In 1992, she starred in a controversial video game called Night Trap, a full-motion video FMV game for the Sega CD. Though the game was groundbreaking in format, it was criticized for its supposedly violent and sexual content, and Plato's involvement drew additional media scrutiny. She also tried her hand at independent films and theater, but despite her efforts, nothing managed to rekindle her stardom. She lived modestly, often relying on the kindness of fans and friends to get by. Was her final days in death. By the late 1990s, Dana Plato was living with her fiancé, Robert Menchaca, in a recreational vehicle. She was still struggling to stay clean and rebuild her reputation. On May 7, 1999, she appeared on The Howard Stern Show and seemed optimistic about her future. She declared herself sober and talked about new acting projects in development. However, just one day later, on May 8, 1999, Mother's Day, Plato died at the age of 34 from an overdose of prescription drugs, including the painkiller Lortab and the muscle relaxant Soma. Her death, ruled a suicide, occurred at the Oklahoma home of her fiancé's mother, where they had been visiting. Plato's passing was met with a mixture of sorrow and morbid curiosity. For many, she had become a symbol of lost innocence and squandered potential, a once promising starlet undone by fame and addiction. Aftermath and legacy. The tragedy did not end with Dana Plato's death. In 2010, her son Tyler Lambert, who had long struggled with the trauma of losing his mother, took his own life at the age of 25. He had reportedly battled depression and substance abuse, continuing the cycle that had plagued his family. Dana Plato's life story has since become a cultural touchstone for the dangers of child stardom. Along with her Diff'rent Strokes co-stars Gary Coleman and Todd Bridges, she is frequently cited in documentaries and retrospectives about the dark side of fame. Coleman died in 2010 after years of financial and legal troubles, while Bridges has spoken candidly about his own battle with addiction and his efforts to recover and inspire others. In 2006, True Hollywood Story aired a special about Plato, chronicling her rise and fall. The segment emphasized not only her personal missteps, but also the systemic failures of Hollywood and society in supporting young actors during and after their fame. Beaver cultural impact and reflection. Despite the tragedy of her story, Dana Plato remains an important figure in the annals of American pop culture. She was a talented actress whose early success was overshadowed by the harsh realities of fame, addiction, and exploitation. Her vulnerability, both on-screen and off, resonated with many fans who saw in her a reflection of their own struggles. Plato's life invites larger questions about the entertainment industry's responsibility to its young stars. What safeguards can be put in place to prevent similar outcomes? What role does the media play in either supporting or destroying vulnerable celebrities? How do we as a culture balance fascination with compassion? These questions remain relevant today, as many former child stars continue to speak out about the trauma they experienced during their formative years. While Plato did not live to see this cultural reckoning, her story has undoubtedly contributed to it. Conclusion. Dana Plato's life is a tragic illustration of how early fame can obscure a person's ability to navigate adulthood, especially in a system more interested in profit than well-being. From beloved TV star to tabloid cautionary tale, her journey was marked by highs that promised stardom and lows that revealed her deep personal pain. Though her time on Earth was short and her end sorrowful, Dana Plato left behind a legacy that serves both as a warning and a call to action. Her story challenges us to do better, not just for celebrities, but for anyone struggling with identity, addiction, and the pressures of living up to a public image that masks private turmoil. Would you like this formatted as a downloadable document or expanded into a screenplay or article-style format? Joe Louis Walker, December 25, 1949, April 30, 2025, was a towering figure in modern blues, a guitarist, vocalist, songwriter, and producer whose career spanned over 6 decades. Known for his fiery guitar work, soulful vocals, and genre-defying creativity, Walker blended blues with gospel, soul, funk, and rock, pushing the boundaries of traditional blues while honoring its roots. Early life and musical roots. Born Louis Joseph Walker Jr. in San Francisco, California, Walker was immersed in music from a young age. He began playing guitar at 8 and was performing publicly by 16. Influenced by blues legends like T-Bone Walker and B.B. King, as well as gospel and soul artists such as Wilson Pickett and Otis Redding, Walker developed a versatile musical foundation. During his teenage years, he played with icons including John Lee Hooker, Jimi Hendrix, and Muddy Waters. His friendship with guitarist Mike Bloomfield, with whom he roomed until Bloomfield's death in 1981, profoundly impacted his musical journey. A turn to gospel and academic pursuits. Bloomfield's passing prompted Walker to reevaluate his path. He stepped away from the blues scene, enrolled at San Francisco State University, and earned degrees in music and English. During this period, he performed with the Spiritual Corinthians Gospel Quartet, deepening his connection to gospel music. A performance at the 1985 New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Festival reignited his passion for the blues, leading him to form the Boss Talkers and sign with High-Tone Records. High-Tone Years, establishing a signature sound. Walker's debut album, Cold as the Night, 1986, marked his return to the blues. Produced by Bruce Bromberg and Dennis Walker, the album showcased his blend of blues, gospel, and soul. Subsequent releases like The Gift, 1988, and Blue Soul, 1989, further solidified his reputation. The Gift featured contributions from the Memphis Horns and emphasized his gospel influences, while Blue Soul incorporated hard blues and folk elements, earning a BAMI Award nomination for Outstanding Blues Album. Verve Gitane's Era, Expanding Horizons. In the early 1990s, Walker signed with Polygram's Verve Gitanes label, beginning a period of experimentation. His album JLW, 1994, featured collaborations with James Cotton and Branford Marsalis. Blues of the Month Club, 1995, co-produced with Steve Cropper, and Great Guitars, 1997, which included duets with Bonnie Raitt, Buddy Guy, and Ike Turner, showcased his willingness to blend genres and work with diverse artists. Preacher and the President, 1998, recorded at Muscle Shoals Sound Studio, featured the Muscle Shoals rhythm section and addressed themes of hypocrisy and morality. The album received critical acclaim and a W.C. Handy Award nomination. Continued evolution and recognition. In the 2000s, Walker continued to evolve, releasing albums like In the Morning, 2002, and Pasatiempo, 2002. His collaborations included Guitar Brothers, 2002, with Otis Grand. Signing with Stony Plain Records in 2008, he released Witness to the Blues and Between a Rock and the Blues, 2009, the latter earning 5 Blues Music Award nominations. Walker joined Alligator Records in 2012, releasing Hellfire, produced by Tom Hambridge. The album received praise for its blend of blues, gospel, and rock. Hornet's Nest 2014 followed, further showcasing his dynamic range. In 2015, Everybody Wants a Piece earned a Grammy nomination for Best Contemporary Blues Album. Honors and Legacy. In 2013, Walker was inducted into the Blues Hall of Fame, recognizing his contributions to the genre. Throughout his career, he received multiple blues music awards and collaborated with a wide array of artists, reflecting his versatility and influence. Walker's music was characterized by its emotional depth, technical proficiency, and willingness to transcend traditional blues boundaries. His ability to infuse blues with elements of gospel, soul, and rock made him a unique and influential figure in modern music. Final years in passing. Walker continued to perform and record into the 2020s, releasing Weight of the World, 2023, and Cold is the Night Reimagined, 2025. He passed away on April 30th, 2025 in Poughkeepsie, New York, at the age of 75, due to a cardiac-related illness. His passing marked the end of a remarkable career that left an indelible mark on the blues and beyond. Conclusion. Joe Louis Walker's journey from the vibrant music scene of San Francisco to international acclaim is a testament to his talent, resilience, and dedication to his craft. His innovative approach to the blues, blending tradition with experimentation, ensured his place as a seminal figure in the genre. Walker's legacy endures through his extensive discography and the countless artists he inspired. Jochen, a prominent figure in motorsport, passed away on May 4, 2025 in Cannes, France, at the age of 78. His death followed a stroke he suffered in February of the same year. Mass's illustrious career spanned Formula One, endurance racing, and sports car competitions, leaving an indelible mark on the racing world. Early life and entry into motorsport. Born on September 30th, 1946 in Dorfen, Bavaria, Jochen Richard Mass hailed from a maritime family. His grandfather was a ship captain in Mecklenburg, which led Mass to work on merchant ships after leaving school. This experience ignited a lifelong passion for boats and sailing. His entry into motorsport was unconventional. After attending a hill climb race where his girlfriend worked as a steward, Mass decided to pursue a career in racing. He left his maritime job and began an apprenticeship at an Alfa Romeo dealership in Mannheim, where he honed his mechanical skills. The dealership owner recognized Mass's talent and introduced him to the world of motorsport. Formula One career. Mass's Formula One debut occurred in 1973 with the Surtees team. Over the next decade, he competed in 105 Grands Prix, driving for various teams including McLaren, ATS, Arrows, and March. His sole F1 victory came at the 1975 Spanish Grand Prix in Barcelona, driving for McLaren. The race was marred by a tragic accident involving Rolf Stommelen, whose car crashed into the crowd, resulting in several fatalities. Despite the somber circumstances, Mass's victory was a testament to his skill and composure under pressure. Throughout his F1 career, Mass was known for his reliability and consistency. He achieved 8 podium finishes and had several top 6 finishes in the World Drivers' Championship standings. His best season was in 1977, where he finished 6th overall. However, his career was not without challenges. In 1980, Mass suffered a serious injury during practice for the Austrian Grand Prix when his Aeros A3 flipped over, bruising his neck and fracturing vertebrae. After a year-long hiatus, he returned to racing with March. In 1982, following a collision at the French Grand Prix that led to the death of Gilles Villeneuve and another near-fatal crash at Paul Ricard, Mass decided to retire from Formula One, endurance racing, and Le Mans success. Mass transitioned to endurance racing, where he achieved significant success. He participated in 12 editions of the 24 Hours of Le Mans between 1972 and 1995. In 1989, driving a Sauber Mercedes C9, Mass secured victory at Le Mans, alongside co-drivers Manuel Reuter and Stanley Dickens. This win marked Mercedes-Benz's second triumph at Le Mans, their first being in 1952. In addition to his Le Mans victory, Mass had notable performances in other endurance races. He finished second at Le Mans in 1982 with Porsche and was a champion of the Deutsche Rennsportmeisterschaft in 1985. Mass also achieved success in the British Saloon Car Championship and the Inter-Series Series. His versatility and adaptability across different racing formats underscored his exceptional driving talent. Mentorship and post-racing career. Beyond his racing achievements, Mass played a pivotal role in mentoring future motorsport stars. He served as a mentor to Michael Schumacher, advising him to join Ferrari in 1996, a decision that would significantly impact Schumacher's career and Ferrari's success in Formula One. Mass also worked closely with other young drivers, such as Karl Wendlinger and Heinz-Harald Frentzen during his time at Sauber. After retiring from active racing, Mass remained involved in motorsport as a commentator for RTL from 1993 to 1997. He also participated in historic racing events, including the Goodwood Revival, where he showcased classic cars and shared his wealth of experience with fans and fellow enthusiasts. Personal life. Mass's personal life was marked by his passion for sailing and his family. He resided in Monaco during his racing career and later moved to Southern France with his wife, Bettina. He had 2 sons from his first marriage to Esti and 2 daughters with Bettina. His love for the sea remained a constant throughout his life, reflecting the influence of his maritime heritage. Legacy. Jochen Mass's legacy in motorsport is characterized by his skill, resilience, and mentorship. His contributions to Formula One and endurance racing have left an enduring impact on the sport. Mass's ability to adapt to different racing formats and his success across various disciplines highlight his versatility as a driver. His role as a mentor to future champions underscores his commitment to the development of the next generation of motorsport talent. The motorsport community mourns the loss of Jochen Mass, a driver whose influence extended beyond the racetrack and whose legacy will continue to inspire future generations.